I really don't know much. I really don't, and I'm cool with that because I studied ferociously for many, many years, decades, to get to the stage where I really stopped searching and I learned to apply more. That's another big one, relationships and toxicity stuff, because there's things that I do not on purpose that are toxic. You see, that is directly, sincerely expressing the fact that I have work to do, so that diminishes my ego, right? I do things that are toxic. I don't, and I work on them every day. It's part of my warrior's code. But yeah, not everybody is at the level to where they can feel their way out of, which I love the point you made, which is good to kind of complement what we're all sharing combined, the harmonizing. Not everybody, nobody knows how to feel. Let's face it, we don't even know. Our emotions were never dealt with from the time we were born. We weren't trained. We had to go out and learn on our own through a lot of pain, right? So the emotional part of a relationship that turns into toxic is because the emotional part of our being was never dealt with, was never focused on. We're always reacting. We never had enough self-discipline to learn to respond, which is different than reacting to everything, right?
Right.
There's a huge difference. So in toxic relationships, I don't know that any of us really know we don't have all the answers, but
we can share our experiences and hope that someone can grasp enough to be like, okay, I need to make a change here.
I think probably the greatest gift that we all three were giving was the pain that we endured to get to where we're at right now in this moment, because we made it and we're here. We're not perfect. We may still be healing, but look, we have been given the capacity to help others, not rescue, because we did the work. We did the work. Sam did the work in order for me to show up in her life. Aaron did the work he had to do to dissolve, to evolve, what you're working towards right now. So my feeling is we've been giving a tremendous amount of gifts to give away. It's that phrase, don't die with your music in you. And that's been kind of resonating with me, get it out before you can't. Get to the stage where it's not about you anymore, which is very freeing. It's very liberating. It's not about you. It's not about me anymore. So yeah, I think if we can do anything to get somebody in a situation that we've been in a prison, this, relationship hell, this prison, if there's one thing that any of us could do to help that person to kind of further along towards removing themselves, then we've done all we can, and I'm honored. I'd be grateful. Aaron, because of you helped me you inspire me to leave that destructive person. Thank you. It's beautiful. Because of something, your pain, I was able to turn into peace. You see how it all intertwines. The amount of just overwhelming fear that we go through trying to leave somebody or a situation like that. And maybe we're that person that is a toxic one. It's one or the other. When does a sinner become the saint? Yeah. So the fear that we have to learn to redirect, it's not easy. It's not fun. It sucks. But whatever else you want to add, but that's a pretty big one.
Right. So that leads me to pretty much my last question. Besides leaving the relationship, like, how did you begin to heal? Like, what do you do on a daily basis to heal? Because I know you guys, we have to heal as individuals, as well as if we're in a relationship, we have to heal inside of the relationship as well. But what do you guys do as individuals to heal yourselves?
That's an awesome question.
So whenever this sounds nuts. In the previous podcast, we discussed that I had put a down payment on that house, which it was a rental, but I still had to do the deposit and stuff like that. And I was riding that out because I was like, man, I just paid all this money and now we just broke up a month after being here. Like, I'm not going to just go move somewhere else now. Obviously I couldn't have. So we were roommates for a while. So in order to heal in that same environment that I was now trying to get out of, but I was still technically in, but now he wasn't as much of a component. I went outside a lot, and that I went with nature, and my dog and I would go on walks, and that's how I was able to promote the healing. But mind you, as long as you're in that environment in any kind of capacity, the amount of healing you're going to do is going to be slow, because even if you see that person, it's instant. You start having to put your guard up, you're aware. I mean, my biggest advice would be do as much healing as you can while you're there and you can't get out, but realize that you're not going to make strides. It's just you're not wired that way. So the quicker that you can go ahead and release yourself from that, the better you're going to be able to make, you'll level up as much either quicker if you're out of it and not having to deal with that person at all. I remember this friend of mine back in the day, she had a relationship with someone that they had dogs together, and they were treating their dogs as kids, which is perfect. We obviously do that, but they were given visitation rights. So every other weekend they would rotate the dogs. Well, what kind of healing are you really doing? And why are you doing that for the dogs? That my as soon as I left the situation, my dog kind of forgot all that, who that was, and didn't want anything to do with them. Whenever I'm like, they have been your parents since, and now you're just totally like, I don't care, because she knew that, Mama, you got to get out of here, So just think about those little things that you may be doing to ag on the pain and keep on that's preventing the healing.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Enlightenment Moment podcast. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you normally listen to your podcast to catch the full version of this episode. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this one. Until next time, stay focused, stay aware, and keep your vibrations high. Thank you.